Coming up on Great Hearts, Great Stories. Veritas Prep brings hoop-coming hype to the basketball court, led by Athletic Director Chase Beebe. Several of our schools came home with hardware from the Great Hearts Middle School League Winter Sports Championships. From tennis to soccer and baseball to softball, we've got your league roundup.
I heard them all screaming for me, and I was just working my butt off trying to get it.
Glendale Prep senior Senna Smith made school history on the basketball court, scoring her 1,000th point. You'll see her milestone shot just ahead. Every miss, I was like, oh, I'm so close. But it was just right there, and I knew I would get it.
And Veritas Prep brings Victor Hugo's masterpiece to life in a stunning production of Les Misérables to sold-out crowds. Watch how these high school students successfully took on this ambitious musical.
That's all coming up on Great Hearts, Great Stories.
Welcome to Great Hearts, Great Stories, our monthly student newscast. I'm Alicia Mora, a student at Cicero Prep.
And I'm Jacqueline Stone, also a senior here. We'll be kicking this episode off with a new tradition at Veritas Prep.
That's right, Jacqueline. Hoopcoming brought forth unforgettable energy, incredible wins, and amazing school spirit.
So hoopcoming is relatively new in recent years. I got to witness hoopcoming for the first time last year, and even in my role, I was absolutely blown away by the support of the entire Veritas community. So Spirit Day to start, students show up wearing their spirit gear to school, and they get to show that they're part of a team or they're supporting a team. And then towards the end of the day, we have our Winter Sports Pep Assembly, and that's a really great opportunity for our student athletes to participate in games and compete against each other, have some fun while all the other students are there as well, and showing support and just having a great time and showing their spirit for Veritas. And then after school, it's a little bit of prep work for the ADs, and then we put on the show. So we have our JV boys game, our girls varsity game, and our boys varsity game. And throughout the games, it is just a lot of fun. At halftime, we have different competitions where some of our students get to compete for prizes. We have great basketball, of course. And then in between quarters, we have swag toss. So we get to throw some Veritas swag to the crowd. And then we have our inaugural year for our Spirit line, so they will be putting on performances at halftime as well.
Last year's hoopcoming in particular was just fantastic. Under the leadership of our great athletic director, Chase Beebe, we had huge crowds come out. It was just a fantastic feel in the gym. There were some prizes and things being thrown into the crowd and everybody cheering together. And then of course last year, both our varsity boys and varsity girls competed in the state tournament, which is really exciting for all of us.
I think hoopcoming and homecoming and all of these special events, period, not just athletic, but special events, add a special love for their school. And it helps remind them of why they're here, why they chose Veritas, because you really see them come together, you see the joy that they have for this school, for their friends, and it's so special to be able to share that with them and help get them to that point when it's me putting on the event. It really is just such a wonderful moment to see them celebrate Veritas.
Before the school day begins, Scottsdale Prep students are already hitting the weights, building strength, endurance, and focus in the new 0-hour weight training class.
Mr. McAfee has been a big supporter of the athletics department, athletics and everything overall, and we kind of been talking about doing a weight training class for the last couple years, and finally came to fruition this year, and it's been a lot of fun with the 0 hour, and we have a 7th hour as well. It's a 4-credit class for the first time, and it's been a great experience so far. Most of them are going to be involved in athletics, not all of them, and then it's kind of, so one of the goals is just kind of promote that general understanding of safe techniques in the weight room and how to get stronger and healthier. We have classes capped at 30, and we've been full in each of them. We want to make sure kids have that onus to actually make sure they keep on coming and have that responsibility that this is for credit. So the weight room's still in progress, so we've been making some adjustments here and there, and then we got it all finished in about September. So I think it's the best way to get your mind going in the morning too, getting your body going, get some mind going, and then hopefully you're wide awake for that first period class.
Great Hearts Prep Academies are taking school pride to the next level with weekly Spirit Wear Days.
It's giving students a new way to showcase their teams, clubs, and camaraderie.
Well, we're so excited to be upping our game this year a little bit. We've had Spirit Days 3 or 4 a year. We've done that for quite a long time, and we're excited this year to make those more frequent. And so we have a Wednesday Spirit Day every week. Students are able to wear the Spirit wear on Wednesday and really have an opportunity to kind of show off a little bit about the sport that they participate in.
And I think it's really one of the most fun things that we've instituted this year because it really helps cultivate the excitement around campus or around sports and other clubs, and it just kind of helps you connect with the student body.
To be an athlete here at Veritas Prep, you're joining something bigger than just yourself, right? A team is greater than one individual, and Spirit Days are a great opportunity for our athletes to show that and show their pride to be a part of that team and show the unity with their team when they're all having the same uniforms on. And additionally, all the other students at the school get to show their pride and their support for our athletes and just for the school in itself. It's a really beautiful thing.
Thinking about the classical ideal that we strive to inculcate in our students, we hope that students will grow morally, intellectually, and athletically. It's very obvious how a couple of those things can happen during the school day, but unless students are really brought into the idea of participating in athletics, some students might not have that natural draw. So I think it's great for peers to be able to see their classmates know that they're participating in cheer or in pep band or in soccer or in swim or cross country, and maybe gain a little bit of curiosity about what it might be like for them to do that.
And now, turning to sports. With a packed gym cheering her on, Glendale Prep senior Senna Smith made history, breaking the previous record and setting a new bound for students to come with a 1,000 career points.
Her record-breaking moment cements her legacy and sets the bar for future Griffins.
I'm Senna Smith. I'm number 23 at Glendale Prep, and I just scored my 1,000th career point. Ever since I found out that that was even achievable for me in high school, I've been working for it. I just had 10 points left when I came into this game, and I knew I was going to hit it. It just depended on when in the game I was going to hit it, because I knew I would get it today. And I wanted it to be a home game because I knew all these people would be out here to support me. Every point I scored in the game leading up to it, I heard them all screaming for me. And I was just working my butt off trying to get it. Every miss, I was like, oh, I'm so close. But it was just right there, and I knew I would get it. So I'm just the first in Glendale Prep history to ever hit 1,000 career points in basketball, And it's just a really big deal because like it's from the boys and the girls, and I want to thank my parents and my brother and all of my coaches that I've had. I've had so many coaches and they've all helped me get here. All of my family has always just been so supportive of me, and they're always out with me shooting and rebounding for me, and just everybody in my life.
It was another successful winter season with 6 of our middle school teams bringing home the titles of league champions.
Led by strong 8th grade leadership, Trivium Prep's softball team embraced confidence and determination to secure their championship victory.
Making school history, Glendale Prep's girls soccer team overcame every challenge with resilience and teamwork to win their first title.
Fueled by grit and belief in each other, Veritas Prep's boys soccer team battled their way to a well-earned championship win.
Defending their title, Scottsdale Prep's baseball team showcased skill, strategy, and sportsmanship to repeat as champions.
And with discipline and teamwork, Veritas Prep's boys and girls tennis teams dominated the court to claim the overall team championships. Game, set, match. Veritas has an 8th grader who is reigning queen of the court, dominating the Great Hearts Middle School Championships for 3 straight years.
I started playing when I was about 6 or 7 at my country club. I mainly joined the tennis team at the beginning because I thought it would be a fun experience. Tennis is an individual sport, and as a team I just had more fun, and it really made me enjoy tennis a lot more. Nationally, in singles I was ranked 154, and for doubles I was 76 nationally. In the Southwest, I believe it includes West Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, and I finished 5th for singles, and I was 2nd in doubles. In 6th grade, I finished 1st in singles and also in 7th grade, and I was MVP both years in a row. We're at the tennis championships, and I'm going for the 3P of singles.
Champion in girls singles 1, we have Harper from Veritas.
Harper is a super hard worker, very disciplined, like her ethics on the court, off the court are amazing. Well, it's definitely a privilege to work with her. Everything has been working great for the last year, I would say, and we're trying to find consistency and make sure that we can reach to like her real level, which is pretty high. For the last year, we have been working on improving her game, giving her more variety, more weapons. That way we'll be able to find a different level, reach a different level. Harper is a pretty aggressive player. One of the objectives with Harper is to get her to use her forehand more during matches. This meaning running around her backhand a little bit more, using her inside-out, inside-in shots. We're trying to also develop more weapons in terms of like using a slide, using some drop shots, coming to the net more, just to make her more a complete player. Her goal is to play D1 college, so that's the objective, and I totally believe it's something we can achieve.
At first I wanted to be a pro tennis player, but now that I realize that it would take a lot to be a pro tennis player, such as like homeschooled, and I really enjoy going to school and full time, so now I'm thinking D1 for sure. Tennis, if you're playing singles, it's individual, and you can obviously get very wrapped up in the game and frustrated, so I would just stay calm and be positive.
From the classroom to the football field, Veritas Prep alumni Matthew McClelland is proving that hard work pays off. After earning first-team all-conference honors in the Pioneer Football League and a 3.92 GPA at Morehead State, he continues his journey at Southern Illinois University. McClelland credits his time at Veritas Prep for shaping the habits and mindset that drive his success today.
Turning from the court to the stage, students at Veritas Prep took on an ambitious challenge of doing Les Misérables, an unforgettable and powerful play.
This has been a musical that the kids have been asking to do for many years. It was a big leap of faith, and there were many nights where I woke up in September and October going, how are we going to pull this off? But the kids just kept rising to the occasion. All these people kind of stepped up and helped. It would never have happened had I not had these people come out of the community to help. So it's been kind of miraculous how it's all come together, to be honest.
I'm Danny Rubenstein. I'm playing John Valjean and I'm a junior in high school. Basically everyone in France is like starving, they're poor, and the rich don't want to help. They're the aristocracy, they think they're above everybody, and so there's revolution going on. Besides that, there's a man who was convicted of a crime that he didn't commit, or that he did commit, but he's redeemed himself as a person, and he sort of interacts with this whole revolution throughout the story. The whole play is sung, there's no speaking lines, so it's all music, and there's just so much of it, and it's much longer than most musicals. It was fairly difficult, but I think we did a pretty good job.
But I think having the orchestra is part of what makes the Veritas musical so special, because I didn't realize that that was the unique thing to do until I went to other schools, and they just have the canned rehearsal tracks, and it's just not the same. Like, having the orchestra is really magical.
So we have professionals just from the community that we have connections with, and they're fabulous. They're absolutely fabulous. And the kids just, you know, the first time they had rehearsal with the orchestra, it's so exciting for them. We've always done our musicals with a live pit orchestra, and I can't compromise on that, but I knew with this one, wow, it was going to be tough. The musicians don't ever stop, whereas some musicals, you know, you have about 10 minutes of dialogue where they can just kind of sit and rest, but it is straight through for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I realized how much fun it is. Like with choir, you're sort of almost subdued a little bit. I don't want to say like that too much. That has a negative connotation. It's good for choir, but for musical, you get to really shine. You're allowed to be yourself and be loud. And so I think that's part of the magic of musical. It's like you get to be yourself instead of kind of being more part of a group.
I'm just so proud of them, incredibly proud of them.
And in other performance art news, Archway Scottsdale 5th grader Varsh Varun's powerful oratory earned him 2nd place at the prestigious Frederick Douglass Oratorical Contest.
I'm Varsh Varun. I'm in 5th grade in Archway Scottsdale, and I recently got 2nd place in the Frederick Douglass Oratorical Contest. It all started when last year I got runner-up in the Great Hearts Bard Competition finals. I was just extremely happy that entire night. My mom asked me if I would want to participate in the Bard competition again. But then I said I didn't want to. I didn't want to give up on public speaking though, so I wanted to try something new. So I wanted to do another competition. And my mom found this contest, which was conducted by the National Park Services, and it was called the Frederick Douglass Oratorical Contest. When I saw this, I was extremely interested. I was wondering whether I should go in this competition or not. And I asked her if it's in my age group, and she said yes. So I signed up. They gave me 5 speeches to choose from that Frederick Douglass has said before. I was thinking which one to choose from, so I chose What to the Slave is the 4th of July, a speech he delivered in Corinthian Hall, Rochester, New York. After that, they said the speech should be around 4 to 6 minutes. I chose a specific part of the speech, the conclusion. And I chose the conclusion because it powerfully encapsulates how Frederick Douglass opposed slavery and features William Lloyd Garrison's triumph of freedom. So then the day came. I was so excited to say my speech. And there were around 12 judges and a National Park Services officer watching me. And once I was done, the National Park Services officer gave me a really good feedback. I really liked what he said back to me. Like, he really liked my speech. And I told my mom this, and I was really looking forward to seeing what the results were. After 2 weeks, the results came. They said I got second place. When I saw this, I was so happy. They said they'd even deliver me a plaque. And they also invited me to Frederick Douglass's Cedar home in Washington, D.C. on the 5th of July, and I'm going with my family there.
Midterm progress reports and open gradebooks are being piloted in our schools. Learn how they're keeping students on track and keeping parents in the loop.
Open Gradebooks is a new initiative here at Great Hearts, and Cicero Preparatory was one of the academies that started with a pilot this year. So our goal was really to open them up and start to see how it's working for faculty, how it's working for students and for parents, and then refine it a little bit more to really be able to launch it to more academies.
My daughter happens to kind of keep track of what she's doing, and she's somebody that likes to know where she stands, and so the fact that we can track things and know exactly what's missing, exactly where she stands, what she needs to do to get better, and show her to where she is along the way really allows her to be able to gauge her progress and not feel like she's kind of in the dark as to where her schoolwork is, and always wonder if she's falling behind or if she's caught up. And I think that it helps her gauge her progress from the beginning to end and not necessarily having to rush at the end and not necessarily feeling lost along the way.
In October, our whole family was hit with walking pneumonia, and my sixth grader, my son, missed a week of school. And because of the access to Power School, I was able to kind of give that power back to him and say, you know, let's look at what you're missing. And because of the teachers doing their due diligence to keep track and, you know, keep the gradebook up to date, my son was able to look back and say, okay, this is what I'm missing. And then he was able to go and have really honest and healthy conversations with his teachers to be able to make up those assignments.
I do think it's a success because I would say overall the teacher morale is higher. They also feel like their conversations with students can now be about particular things in their classroom versus what did I get on that quiz. And now they really have a lot more support from the parents as well, because parents have the information they need to support their student, and so it's really allowed us to continue to be a very relational educational model. And then on the student side, especially for the high school students, they also have access. It's allowed them to take responsibility, and I think feel like they have more agency in how they're doing at our schools.
Exciting news! Great Hearts Christos Gilbert is moving to the Redemption Gilbert campus this August.
The new campus offers spacious classrooms, a large chapel, and beautiful outdoor areas. A great place for a wonderful learning experience.
Hello friends, we are so excited to talk with you about our new campus for Christos Gilbert. We are locating to Redemption Gilbert campus this August of 2005. Friends, let me tell you about this campus. This is truly the premier church campus, Christian campus in the East Valley. 20 acres right here at McQueen and Elliott Road, right in the middle of the East Valley. It's beautiful. Large breezeways, hallways, large classrooms, a lunchroom, a chapel, fields for our students to play on. We're installing a new playground. This is truly going to be a beautiful, beautiful prep school experience for the students of Great Hearts Christos. This wonderful Christian classical education that's affordable for all families. Will be K7 here next year. We can't wait to show you this space. Drive by, we'll set up a tour, and you'll see what's going on here. It's going to be one of the best learning environments with the best content in the Valley.
This has been my prayer for many, many months, for God to expand the territory of Great Hearts Christos. From our first year, I always knew that this was a very special school created by God, and I feel strongly that our children deserve a larger space. And so Redemption Gilbert is answered prayers, and I'm glad that God truly answered our prayers. We do have a larger chapel now where the kids can worship the Lord, which is something that we're really very committed to. We also have a lunchroom larger than what we used to have. The classroom sizes are a little bigger than where we're coming from as well.
In classical education, we honor beauty through looking at classical works, by looking at great pieces and listening to great pieces of music, and that's core to who we are. And the ability to match that beautiful curriculum and that focus on the true, good, and beautiful through such a beautiful campus where students can come, they feel welcomed. There's big hallways that we can display classical artwork on, and they have the ability to experience that beauty that God has surrounded us here, even in the large field and the trees. We're just so thankful for that in this new campus.
Athenaeum offers a unique after-school learning experience.
At Great Hearts Invictus in Texas, Athenaeum provides a perfect balance of academics, community, and recreation for K-5 students.
Athenaeum is an extension of the school day. We really try to reinforce that curriculum that they are using during the day, so that Socratic classical approach. We are also helping them with their Spalding, with their Singapore math, and then we also have our curriculum, our lesson and activity.
Every month we have a new theme for our activity and lesson. This month we're focusing on Russia and Eastern Europe. So today for activity we read a little story about a babushka doll. Babushka is Russian for grandmother. So for activity today they're making their own little babushka dolls by painting little wooden dolls, and they're decorating them and just creating their own little doll while we went over the story and the morals of the babushka doll and the little girl in the story.
Athenaeum is really fun, and we get extra time at recess, and we get to do our homework, and we get to do fun activities. It also lets our parents save a lot of time, so they don't have to come all the way over here and pick us up when they're working.
We do have Athenaeum teachers that are in the classrooms with those scholars that have already gone through that training of the love and logic approach, as well as learning those different virtues so they can use that virtuous language in the classroom. A typical day in the Athenaeum program looks like we pick up the scholars from their classroom, we go outside, typically on the playground depending on weather, have snack time, they get their wiggles out, get to talk with their friends, and then we go to a more structured part of the day in the classroom where they knock out their Spalding and their independent homework. Typically it's math, sometimes it can be other subjects as well. I really want to encourage parents that are considering signing up for the Athenaeum program to sign up today. We have many affordable and flexible options that can fit any after-school family needs.
At Great Hearts Roosevelt, one teacher is taking classical education to new heights, literally.
This educator practices the ancient art of falconry, training his majestic hawk with patience and discipline.
Hi, my name is Steve Laconis. I'm the 3rd through 5th art teacher here at Archway Roosevelt, and I'm a falconer. Falconry is the art and sport of catching live game with a trained raptor. That's pretty much it. You've got to hunt with your bird, otherwise you're not doing falconry. A lot of people call hawks and eagles and falcons birds of prey, and technically they are. An eagle, a hawk, or a falcon is better termed raptor because they have that sharp beak for tearing, and they've got these talons and these feet that add the pressure. It's the feet that make a raptor actually a raptor. Also, another clarification, I have a hawk, not a falcon. This is Jax. He is a 3-year-old male Harris hawk, and he hunts mainly rabbits. I don't remember the exact day or time or year that I actually got into falconry, but I know I was a little kid. I know I went to the bookstore and I saw a book on falconry, and that was kind of what got me going. And as I got older, I went to falconry conventions or falconry meets where falconers will bring their birds, and then I started going out with other falconers on hunts. You've got apprentice, general, and master. Those are the 3 classes of falconers. So obviously apprentice, that's your 2-year apprenticeship. I'm just kind of roughly starting my general falconry, and that's for 5 years. And then after 5 years, you become a master falconer. So these were the first days of training. They train very quickly. There's a lot of that. He doesn't know, right? He's a wild animal. He doesn't know I'm not going to eat him. And so for the first week or 2, it's a lot of that. You basically, you sit with him for hours on the glove, watching TV and just relaxing. The next step is to get him to eat off the glove. And then once he eats off the glove, then you can have him start jumping to the glove and then do the creance training and then free flight. Oh. There we go. So now he's waiting for the trade-off. And he's really getting lucky today because he's getting a lot of food today. So I put my knee on a lot of it here. All right, and then And then that's the trade-off right there. Come on, buddy. Aristotle actually mentioned falconry, which I thought was kind of cool. This is in the 4th century, and he says, in his Historia Animalium, Aristotle wrote, in Thrace, the boys who want to hunt small birds take hawks with them. When they call the hawks, addressing them by name, the hawks swoop down on the birds. The small birds fly in terror into the bushes, where the boys catch them by knocking them down with sticks. When the hunting finishes, the hunters give a portion of all that is caught to the hawks. So Marco Polo, when the Emperor Kublai Khan goes thus a-fowling with his gerfalcons and other hawks, he is attended by full 10,000 men. That's huge. And no wolf is able to get away from them. Falconry is an old sport. It's been going on for a really long time. And it's a great opportunity for people to know something about a really old sport and learn about what falconry can do for people and help people today.
The 2025 National Symposium brought together educators and scholars for an exploration in this year's theme, Cultivating Wonder.
Attendees were renewed in their mission to ignite wonder and a love of learning for future generations.
Well, I've worked for Great Hearts for 9 years. And before starting with Great Hearts, I had 0 experience with classical education. I didn't even know what a classical education was. So through the years, I have been immersed in this experience, and it has reawakened my love for learning. I now feel like I am that lifelong learner that we want all our students to be, and that's it's one of the reasons why I wanted to come, because I'm still learning what it means to be a classical educator. I have had a blast. I have had a chance to reconnect with people I haven't seen in a long time.
My name is Anna Rocha, and I'm here with San Luis Obispo Classical Academy from California. My first time here at the symposium, and it's just been a fabulous experience. I find that immersing myself in it as an educator has just been so beneficial. I absolutely would recommend it. I can't wait. I'm hoping my husband also works at San Luis Obispo Classical Academy. He's a history teacher at the high school, and I'm really hoping next year he can come as well.
And before we go, our teachers and staff recently swapped classrooms for an adventure during the annual Spring in Service.
We leave you now with a look at some of the seminars, hands-on workshops, and wildlife encounters. See you next month, and go Centurions!